Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 61 of our Aston Martin Turn. Now if you didn't watch the last episode at the Belgian Grand Prix, it was a very hectic one. We had safety cars galore. Pierre Gasly did manage to get P5 after fighting his way back after some engine penalties, but a crash involving Fernando Alonso, it wasn't his fault, left him down in 15th and not scoring any points. What does that mean for the standings? Well, it means in the constructors that we dropped from first down to third. We are now 12 points behind Ferrari, who lead the constructors. Red Bull in second and ourselves in third. A long way to go in this one. Driver standings wise, Max Verstappen didn't gain any points on us. Actually, Gasly closed the gap. So he's now just 47 points behind Max Verstappen in the title race. Sainz and Leclerc a little bit further back for Ferrari, also showing a keen interest. And Max Verstappen will be looking to extend his lead at the top of the championship at the home Grand Prix in Zandvoort. Lewis Hamilton holds a lap record here, 72 laps around here. Expected strategy is a one-stop, either from soft or medium onto hard. Car attributes, acceleration, we're not brilliant at that, but medium speed cornering, we've just had a suspension upgrade, so I'm hoping that's going to improve us in that area. So as always, I'm going to get through all the practice sessions and I'll see you in qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix.
It's another historic weekend of Formula One here at Zandvoort. The track has seen many unforgettable moments, like Gilles Villeneuve's three-wheeled lap at the 1979 Dutch Grand Prix, which cost him victory. What excitement lies ahead this year? There's never a dull moment at Circuit Zandvoort. It's fast, very fast, with long straights and wide curves. But it also features two heavy banked corners, where aerodynamic improvements are sure to help our drivers. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. The competition is on.
There we are then, Pierre Gasly coming around the final corner. This final lap in Q3, Fernando Alonso hasn't gone out. He is going to be starting from the back of the grid tomorrow due to that crash in Spa. We've had to take all new engine components, so it's a full 20-place grid penalty for Fernando Alonso. Pierre Gasly, P6, a little bit disappointing. Didn't improve on the fresh tyres at the end, which is very disappointing. So P6 for Pierre Gasly, P10 for Fernando Alonso. Might lend itself to a split strategy, but the key point from it is Max Verstappen is on pole for his home Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Let's get into the strategies and see what we can do. Right guys, we are going to split the strategies. Fernando's got a fresh set of soft compound tyres. That's lent itself to him going on the two-stop strategy. That's the quickest for him. A 1:28.56 estimated race time. If we have a look at Pierre Gasly, he's looking at a 1:28.59, so 3 seconds difference. So it makes sense really. Pierre Gasly in fifth, he can hang on to the top guys. Fernando Alonso can go well for leather, try and make his way through the pack, get the undercut, and then go again. That's the plan. Let's see if it pays off. 5th and 20th, it's going to have to be some recovery drive from Fernando Alonso. 5 red lights coming right up.
Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we're going to ride on board with Pierre Gasly into turn 1. He's got 2 Red Bulls, he's got Verstappen in P4 and Sergio Perez in P3. So I don't know if Verstappen's took an engine penalty, but he was dequalified on pole. So interesting there. Verstappen obviously taking a component, but straight away the Gasman is making a move on the homeboy Max Verstappen. We're going to give him the ERS to use as well to try and get past him. If we have a look at the front guys, we've got Sainz and Perez both on the soft compound tyre, Verstappen, Leclerc and Gasly on the medium. The soft compound, it seems to be the tyre of choice for most of the field, but we're going to sit in, we think we can sit in to be fair. We did notice in qualifying when there was traffic on the track, it really harmed our guys getting a lap in. It did cause some serious time deficits. So maybe it's not the easiest to pass around here, but Gasly has just got to stick with Verstappen and hopefully we can beat him with better tyre management, better engine management, fresh engines of course in both our cars really. Gasly's a pretty new engine as well. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, it's like being back in season 1. He's got to overtake a Williams. Absolutely lovely, but Valtteri Bottas, and again on the first lap, he's not managed to overtake a Williams And bearing in mind, Fernando has got a fresh engine, a totally fresh engine in his car, and he's struggling to get past the Williams. That does not make good early reading for Aston Martin. So your full top 10 rundown, if we switch the cameras beautifully. God, I should be working for Sky Sports. We've got Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Verstappen, Gasly, Russell, Hamilton in the Audi, up in P7, Lando Norris in P8, Lance Stroll in P9 in the AlphaTauri, followed by his teammate Guan Yu Zhou, lap 2. Lap 4, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Pierre Gasly. We've had to use some ERS to try and stay with Max Verstappen. We don't have the pace of the Red Bulls this afternoon, and if we have a look on board, it's a good job really that Charles Leclerc is holding these two up. If we have a look further back, Fernando Alonso, he has managed to get past one of the cars at the back, but Bottas in the Mercedes, he's really struggling. If we remember, a couple of seasons ago, Valtteri Bottas was a driver we were really looking at, who were performing very well indeed. Fernando Alonso and Bottas really struggling to get past these cars at the back. The gap to the leader, if we just have a quick look at that, it's only 9 seconds at this moment in time, and we're hoping with this two-stop strategy we can play this very well. We're going to get Fernando to use a bit of overtake and all very shortly to get past a couple of these, because we've got the DRSs enabled now, and straight away, look at that Mercedes of Bottas. We've absolutely burned it there. In that little bit of acceleration. Remember, our car, not known for its acceleration, but the pace we had over that Mercedes there, really interesting. If we have a look, we're just going to watch Fernando get this job done, which he has. We're pretty confident in that now. If we have a look at the data view and have a look at the drivers, I believe it is. Let's have a look. Here we go. So, car condition. What is the car condition of Valtteri Bottas? He has got a brand new engine in, and we've absolutely burned him in a straight line. That's not very good for the Mercedes at all. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is dropped out of a second of Max Verstappen. We are going to have to tell Pierre Gasly to deploy and push on the fuel, because Gasly is in danger of losing track of these front guys at this moment in time. We're having to do a lot to keep Pierre Gasly in the standings, and Fernando Alonso looks like he's motoring on again. He's got past Bottas. He's now having a look at Yuki Tsunoda, and believe it or not, he's having more trouble with Yuki Tsunoda. It's 3 wide going into the DRS zone. This is absolutely mental. And what is worse, Pierre Gasly is in a title fight. We know Pierre Gasly is in a title fight, and then he's gone and done this.
Let's have a look.
Pierre Gasly has spun. What has he done here? He's using the ERS, and he's just binned it.
And there we see the
and that is just, he's been making these mistakes lately. We've been so complimentary of Pierre Gasly at times. He's given us some fantastic moments this season. Pierre Gasly now has got damage as well, I believe. Let's have a look at the car condition. He's got minor damage to the rear wing. What was going to be a very important race for Pierre Gasly has now been made all the more difficult. He's behind his teammate Fernando Alonso. We might have to have a look to see if we can change his strategy now. So lap 6, it's Sainz from Leclerc, Perez from Verstappen, Russell's in P5, Hamilton 6, Norris 7, Stroll 8, Zhou 9th, and Sebastian Vettel, due to that Gasly spin, is now up into the points. This could be a race like season 1. We've been struggling to get past this Williams. I can't believe it. The way that we got past the Mercedes was beautiful, and this Williams has just not let us past at all. And we finally managed to get past it. So Fernando Alonso up into P17. Bottas has made some great moves though in all this. If we are running 17th and 19th, this could be the worst race of our season early doors. Already I'm thinking we need a safety car already, and it's only lap 11. This is going to be a long old slog. Stick with us, you never know, it just might change. So then guys, we've had a couple of cars pit already. We've had, if we just, Fernando comes into the pit lane for his first stop. It's not been the greatest first stint from Fernando, it must be said. If we just have a look at the pit stops, and if Mike Cronin get out of the way. Stroll, Ocon and Magnussen have already all pit, so Fernando now is in and out. 2.5 seconds, not a bad pit stop for Fernando Alonso at all. This has got to be the moment now where he really pushes it. We've saved the ERS, we're going to be in clean air. Fernando Alonso has got to get the hammer down, and he's got to not get stuck in traffic. That's the key to wall this. So Fernando Alonso now out in P20. It's hammer time, Fernando. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly. The discussions on the pit wall have been, do we try and goal hang for a safety car here with Pierre Gasly? Because at this moment in time, he's being dragged along, but there's a big gap between himself, 25 seconds between him and the leader, obviously with that spin. So we're really assessing the situation for Pierre at this moment in time. We could do with him making some moves early doors, but these soft compound runners are going to pit before Pierre. Lap 24, Fernando now has got work to do. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix, lap 25, Fernando Alonso. He has managed to jump Valtteri Bottas. Now, Valtteri Bottas has come out 2.3 seconds behind Fernando. Bearing in mind, he were about 3 or 4 positions in front, so that might just be a little yardstick there. If we have a quick look at it on the it's not a strategy view, on the reports, on the pre-race report for the time considerations, under green flag running, you're looking at around 26 seconds. So, if we have a look at the leaders now, what's he on? 40, so we want to be 14 seconds. All these guys are going to come out behind Fernando Alonso if he keeps up his current pace. Obviously, we've got another pit stop to make with Fernando, but we will be on much quicker tyres towards the end. Lap 26, Fernando might be in it for points. Pierre Gasly, we're just kind of chugging along. Lap 26, Leclerc leads from Sainz, Verstappen and Perez still in the hunt for this win. We've seen a fair few of the front runners coming in. Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel all in. Alonso now currently running in P13. He's got to try and get past Esteban Ocon, who's been an absolute nightmare so far here. Pierre Gasly now is up in P8. He's got 7 seconds to George Russell, who's made his pit stop. Do we go line for a safety car? That's what I'm thinking with Pierre. Do we just run as long as we possibly can and wait for a safety car? That might be his only option to get anything from this race with Pierre Gasly. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso has managed to get past Esteban Ocon. He can go on to neutral ERS now. Right, Albon and Ricciardo are in. Let's see where these guys are going to come out. We'll just take a little look at this overtake from Fernando Alonso. We've not seen too much overtaking, and to be fair, he's got it done in the DRS zone beautifully before the run down the start-finish straight. So great work from Fernando there. We've come back to Danny Ricciardo's pit stop. He's going to drop down a little bit now, and I would imagine Alonso's going to be well clear of him. And we look at the guys in front now. So we've got who's not pit in the top 10. So Leclerc, Verstappen, Zhou, Gasly and Tsunoda have not pit. And then comes Fernando Alonso. So Alonso really got to use his tyres. But remember, onto the soft compound at the end, we are expecting Fernando to be very, very quick towards the end of this Grand Prix. Our 2 constructors' rivals, though, bear that in mind. Ferrari and Red Bull are currently checkerboarded down to P4. Verstappen is in for his pit stop, lap 30. In the box, lap 32, Pierre Gasly is in for his pit stop. We reckon he might come out around where Valtteri Bottas and Lando Norris are in P10 and P11, so something to bear in mind there. It's a decent stop from our guys, 2.5 seconds. Now it's where he will come out. Bottas and Norris are battling. Where is Pierre Gasly? He's still trundling down the pit lane. It's going to be P14 maybe? If he can get out in front of that gaggle of cars, that would be very helpful. Pierre Gasly is out of the pit lane in P14, and to be fair to him, he has got the freshest tyres out of a lot of these guys. So Pierre might still be in the battle for points. Fernando Alonso working hard. He has got the DRS of Lance Stroll now as well, which is helping matters. A safety car really plays into Fernando's hands, maybe not so much now for Pierre Gasly. It's still Sainz from Leclerc, but Max Verstappen is now in DRS of Charles Leclerc. He's going to be going all out as we ride on board with him down this start-finish straight. He's going to be going all out to win his own Grand Prix. And to be fair, who would back against him, especially when we can see the 2 Ferraris up top battling between themselves. Not very helpful at all when they've got a charging Red Bull of Max Verstappen behind them. Any other notable ones? Kevin Magnussen up in P9 at the moment, but he's got to stop again. Stroll, Alonso, Ocon and Magnussen have all got to stop again. That's going to promote Pierre Gasly into the points, but like I said, Fernando is going to be mighty quick towards the end of this Grand Prix, lap 33. I think it's fair to say Valtteri Bottas is not having the best of afternoons, as it's got to be said. I'm not at the moment, but Valtteri Bottas has just spun out. That's not going to cause a safety car. You can see Pierre Gasly just driving past there. Gasly's now up to P11. Again, he's still got cars in front of him ready to box. DRS is disabled, and we have got a safety car. We're going to look at this now and come back very, very shortly. Right, we've made a decision on strategy, but firstly, let's have a look at what's caused this incident in this safety car. And it's Lando Norris just locking up and absolutely clouting the wall. Not been his season in real life so far, not been his season, not been his race, sorry, on this. Now, we had a tough decision to make here with Fernando Alonso, whether we chose the soft or the medium compounded tyre. I've opted for the medium, because I think towards the end of the race then we're going to be in a much better position and we can go very aggressive on the tyres. We don't have to worry about the tyres at all. Pierre Gasly on the hard compound, he's going to stay out, but it's all about where Fernando Alonso manages to come out now. So let's just fast forward on until he gets into the pit lane, which he is now. So Alonso, Ocon, Stroll and Magnussen are all into the pits. I'll be intrigued to see what Esteban Ocon goes on to. He's gone on to soft, we've gone on to medium. Interesting, interesting. The guys have chosen soft. We went less aggressive, really, and come out on the medium because I think we're going to have the pace towards the end. Pierre Gasly is going to be told to conserve everything, as you would expect. Fernando Alonso the same, and then when he comes out and this safety car is ending, it's full attack mode. It's P12 now for Fernando Alonso, and he's got medium compound runners in front of him all the way home. Total reset, exactly what we needed. You wouldn't be happy if you were the front four guys here. Lap 48, we'll come back when we get back to green flag running. Safety car is coming in. We're just telling our guys to get ready to go here. Fernando Alonso has been told, be aggressive on the tyres and attack the guys in front of you. Pierre Gasly similarly so. If he can make up a couple of positions early, that would be absolutely ideal for Pierre. But it's all about when Charles Leclerc decides to bolt. There's a big gaggle of cars behind him. Charles Leclerc, 75% tyres, and we're back to green flag running. It's a good restart from Charles Leclerc. He's already pulled out a decent gap on Carlos Sainz. Verstappen in P3, very much back in the contest here. Gasly in P7. Let's keep an eye on Pierre. Is he going to manage to make an overtake early doors after this safety car restart? He's trying to get around the outside, but can't at this moment in time. We'll sit in with him. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, I believe, has already gained a position off the restart. He certainly has. He's overtaken the Audi of Alexander Albon, and now it is full push for Fernando Alonso. He's now going for a move on Guan Yu Zhou as well, so he's got that move done. Let's just have a look at this little move on Alexander Albon. He got it done round the banked left-hander early doors, got that job done, and then it was Guan Yu Zhou was the next target, and he's now having a look at Danny Ricciardo. Is Fernando Alonso going to be the hero here? And look at the pace he's got. He's already overtaking Danny Ricciardo into this chicane, and he's using all the ERS, but it's working an absolute treat for him at this moment. He's past Danny Ricciardo. Lewis Hamilton is up next, and if he gets past Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly will be told to jump out of the way because he has no need at all to get involved with Fernando Alonso. But what a restart that has been from Fernando Alonso, as Lewis Hamilton cuts him off very, very aggressively there. But Fernando's thinking, no, we're not having that. I'm going to get round you down the inside of this bank left-hander. Beautiful work from Fernando Alonso, and now he's got his teammates up next. Fernando, whisper it quietly, could win this Grand Prix. Lap 51, Pierre Gasly is going to be told very, very shortly to get out of the way. Or in fact, Fernando's saying, actually, bugger it, I'm going to get past you as quickly as I possibly can. Let's just ride on board with Fernando. Let's see when he decides to make that move. I don't want Pierre to jump out of the way too suddenly. It must be said, because that might lose him time to the cars behind, but he's not helping his teammates here at all. I think once we get down the next start-finish straight, we'll keep riding on board. We'll just speed it up a little bit. And then once we get onto this start-finish straight now, we've used all his battery. It might be time for Fernando just to charge up a little bit before his next attack. So lap 52, we'll leave it there for the moment. 7th and 8th for Aston Martin. You join us back on lap 54. Fernando Alonso has managed to swap with Pierre Gasly and charge his battery up a little bit as well. And we are going to ride on board with him as he's got Sebastian Vettel, the former Aston Martin man, in his sights. He's using the ERS, he's pushing on the fuel, pushing. and he's gone for a cracking move down the outside. Vettel cuts in on him, he can't quite get the job done there. Will Fernando manage to get it done into this bank left-hander? He's made a couple of decent moves into this one already. He's going round the outside on the higher line, and then he's using that ERS on the exit. Beautiful work. He's past Sebastian Vettel. Next up is George Russell. If he clears George Russell, which I've got a sneaking suspicion he will do on the next DRS straight, my word, he's then just got to chase down the top 4. Meanwhile, if we have a look at Pierre Gasly, he's now looking at the back of Sebastian Vettel as well. We're going to switch to the TV cameras here because I reckon there might be 2 overtakes in one straight. First up is Fernando Alonso using the DRS, and he's going to be past George Russell into P5, hopefully. Is he going to get the job done? He isn't. George Russell defends amicably. But now, down this next right-hander, he's going to get DRS down the start-finish straight, is he? Was he just ahead on the detection point? He may have been, but Fernando Alonso's passed him, and now Pierre Gasly is the man we're going to ride on board with, and hopefully try and get past Sebastian Vettel. He's not going to manage it here. We'll manage the ERS a little bit more. It's the long game, really, with Pierre Gasly. But Alonso gets past George Russell. He's now up into P5, and he's got clean air to chase after the front 4 cars. We're all on 60-odd% hard compound tyres. Fernando Alonso, let's just have a look. Last lap, 1:11. He gained 2 tenths on him, but what can he do in clean air? 56. This has changed. Lap 57, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso, a 1:10.5. He gained a second on Carlos Sainz in that last lap alone. Fernando Alonso is on an absolute charge here. He's now got the DRS of Sergio Perez. I think there's a podium on. There's definitely a podium on here for Fernando Alonso. He's pushing on the fuel, we know that, but he's got every chance of getting a podium here this afternoon. Fernando Alonso, Leclerc and Verstappen. Leclerc might be a little bit out of reach, but Verstappen certainly isn't. Could he overtake the homeboy at his own Grand Prix? Who knows?
So this
Fernando Alonso is magic because he can drive through walls. Fernando Alonso's got down the inside of Sergio Perez. How he's done that, I don't know, but he's worked an absolute treat. He's now got 3rd and 2nd in front of him. It's took a few laps to get past Sergio Perez. It must be said he's now on 67% tyres. The tyre gap is shortening, is the word I'm looking for. He's 4 tenths to Sainz. I reckon he can finish P2 here. We did manage to charge a little bit of ERS up during that period as well, and he's nearly dropped Sergio Perez. I think on these next couple of laps, it's going to be all Fernando Alonso to get to P2. Leclerc looks like he's got it in the bag today, but Alonso could do his teammate a favour in the title race as well by taking points off Max Verstappen. He's also got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well, so there's a lot to be positive about as we ride on board with him down this start-finish straight. Is either of them going to be able to make a move here? It doesn't look like it. Verstappen has got the pace in that Red Bull, but Fernando Alonso is looking mighty quick on this medium compound tyre. Bear in mind, he's on 66% tyres now. Look at the soft compound tyres. They would have been absolutely dead by this time. We wouldn't have had the life in them by the end of the Grand Prix. So the medium compound decision is being vindicated at this moment in time. Fernando Alonso, oh my word, he was side by side with Carlos Sainz into turn 1. He kept his nose in, got him round the bank left-hander. That's where he's made the majority of his moves this afternoon. And now he's just got Max Verstappen to deal with in front of him. At this moment in time, Fernando currently sat in P3. We're just harvesting a little bit of ERS because we know when we get past Max Verstappen, we are going to have to bolt away. Perez and Sainz are now fighting behind, which is helping us all the more. But I think Leclerc's checked out. Leclerc looks like he's got his job done. But Fernando Alonso definitely could get P2 today. I think a podium definitely is on the cards. Let's have a look at it. Down this start-finish straight. Can he overtake Max Verstappen? He's got DRS. Max Verstappen hasn't. He is harvesting DRS. He's gaining. He's having a look down the inside. Can't quite make the move, but maybe in a couple laps time he may be able to. If we have a look at the tyres, Verstappen 46% to Fernando Alonso's 62% medium compound tyres. It's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, Gasly, he's been stuck behind these two cars for a long time now. Can't seem to get the jump on them up to P6. It could be vital for him. We're going to tell him to harvest for the next couple of laps. and then go full attack mode. But at this moment in time, Fernando Alonso looking ever more likely to overtake Verstappen for P2.
Look at this, it's Pierre Gasly.
It's the first time I've questioned, is Pierre Gasly going to be a title contender, because the mistakes he's made in this last couple of races have been unforgivable for a title challenger. Meanwhile, the man who's done it all before, seen it and done it, Fernando Alonso, it's going to be down the next start-finish straight where we are going to tell Fernando to absolutely bolt. We're going to tell him to deploy now.
Use energy if you need it, use energy.
And then when he gets to this start-finish straight, let's see if we can do a different camera angle. Let's be a bit different. There we go. We're going to take this on board from Fernando Alonso. He's using the DRS. DRS is going to open now. And Fernando Alonso, all the pace in the world, overtakes Max Verstappen. So now going to P2, and he's got the deploy as well. This is going to be absolutely crucial if he can break the DRS of Max Verstappen. He's already pulled out 6 tenths here. 8 tenths, 9 tenths. I think he's going to check out here. We're just going to knock that down. We'll watch this replay because this might be the final overtake of the Grand Prix with the DRS open. The home fans will not have enjoyed that, but we certainly have. Fernando Alonso up to P2. Yes, we got a bit lucky with the safety car, but he's now nearly pulled out a second on Max Verstappen. If he could break the DRS here, this could be absolutely crucial. Let's just fast forward it on a little bit. Is he going to manage it? He is. Fernando Alonso has broken the DRS of Max Verstappen. He's looking nailed on for P2. I doubt he's going to catch Charles Leclerc unless Charles Leclerc makes a very, very big mistake in this last couple of laps. But lap 69, Fernando Alonso up to P2. So this is it then. Final few corners for Charles Leclerc. He's been absolutely dominant today. You'll notice on the left-hand side, Fernando Alonso, he's down to below 3 seconds the gap. If we could have made our way through that traffic a little bit more, probably got past Perez a little bit quicker, I think we may have caught him today, but you can't take it away from him. The Monegasque driver wins the Dutch Grand Prix. Alonso comes in P2. What a recovery drive from the back of the grid to P2. Absolutely fantastic. And Pierre Gasly, he has actually managed to catch Sebastian Vettel towards the end after his couple of mistakes. Alonso's happy. We're very happy with Fernando's performance today. Unbelievable drive. Yes, we got lucky with the safety car, but we don't mind any of that. And we will just fast forward now towards the podium celebrations, which we're hopefully going to get to see. But fantastic work from Fernando. Let's listen to Crofter.
His team must be proud. A spot on the podium is exactly what the team deserved, and they got it. And the talented veteran rounds off another great drive, adding to his impressive F1 podium tally.
Absolutely superb work there from Fernando Alonso, gaining 18 positions to get up to P2 and getting the fastest lap of a 1 minute 9.9 as well. What a drive from him. So your full classification is as follows. We've got Charles Leclerc who won, Alonso, Verstappen P3, Sainz and Perez, George Russell in the Mercedes, consistent all afternoon, Vettel P7, Gasly P8, Ricciardo P9 and Lewis Hamilton gets a point for the Audi in P10. Driver standings wise, Carlos Sainz overtakes Pierre Gasly in the drivers' standings by 1 point. Pierre Gasly drops to now, what's that, 58. God, I'm having to do some really quick maths in this series at the moment. 58 points now between himself and Max Verstappen. Fernando Alonso catching up to the Ferrari drivers in P5 and distancing himself from George Russell, who's been very, very good in P6. Constructors standings wise, Ferrari are the big winners on the day. 38 points for them. They now stand 27 points in front of us. Red Bull are in second, 373 points, and we are 370. We are not miles behind here. It's still all to play for as we go on to the next Grand Prix. But Pierre Gasly got to stop making these mistakes. I hope you've enjoyed that. It looks very, very desperate after the first few laps, but my God, that safety car really helped us. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on Thursday for the next one. Ta-ra!